Mr. Vivian Reddy. He sends his apologies. I'm going to be speaking for him today. But mine is probably going to be a little bit of a different kind of talk based on what Sibaya Community Trust does when it comes to GBV and some of the case studies that, if you'll allow me to share. Because Sibaya Community Trust works with NPOs, we fund NPOs who do work in the sectors of GBV, amongst other services like free cancer screening and so on. I've recently been very involved with an organization from the north coast of Durban whose core function is in the service or in the sector of gender-based violence. And they offer a rescue service where they go in where a child has been raped, where a woman has been raped, where a man has been abused. Let's not forget that men are abused and are too ashamed to come out and talk about it because people will laugh at them, you know. So here is just some case studies that I'm going to share with this one organization that I've actually, as Sibaya Community Trust, put on a fundraiser event for them, and it was called the Telethon of Hope. The reason being is that when our children are abused and are removed to go into a place of safety, many of them are sent far away from Durban. Now imagine the trauma of being abused, being abandoned, being neglected, and the added trauma of being sent to a place where they cannot even speak the language. Because we don't have enough facilities in Durban enough to accommodate the children. The equation of the number of GBV victims compared to the number of shelters do not match. So recently I've embarked on a telethon for this organization to raise Durban. Now, this event happened on Wednesday at Sibaya, and we raised 800,000 Rand. However, we're just below the mark of R1 million. So basically they are looking at about 195,000 Rand more to get to that R1 million mark. That means they'll be able to make a difference. With 16 days of activism coming up, it's something that they can announce that they're doing. So that's tangible evidence of what an NPO is doing. Now I'm going to share some case studies of what's happening. And the perverted mind, how do we change the perverted mind? We can't. We cannot, but what we can do with law is to confine them into a mental institute if law doesn't want to put them into jail. Okay? You got to find a place where they can be taken and removed from communities and put somewhere. Because this kind of thing happening inside the homes of people, even police can't be there. You and I can't be there. But the business of it's not our business anymore needs to stop. It is our business. We as neighbors, families and friends cannot say it's not my business, there's some violence happening in my neighbor's home. You need to intervene. You have the right, and the law, I'm sure, is giving you the right to go and stop a fight from happening or stop something from getting worse because you would have saved somebody there. So I'm going to share a couple case studies with you. A 9-year-old girl, she was raped by 27 men. She had to go for vaginal reconstructive surgery. Okay? This is the trauma the child faced. And why did that happen? Because her father owed a tavern bill. And he sold his daughter to pay for that bill. The father was jailed, but I'm sure the father is out now. Because really, the child faced serious trauma. She's mentally disabled in a way, which probably she'll never recover from, no matter how much of therapy she's put through. This is a thing that she's going to carry till the day she goes through a grave. There is a 10-year-old boy in the Bombay area who was neglected, abandoned by his parents because they seem like their lifestyle is on that drugs and drinking, whatever. The child, now according to DSD, you have some rules when you're an NPO dealing with gender-based violence. You cannot just uplift that child and take that child to your home or to your shelter. There's processes. So SAPS is one of the processes, and goes back to what Edwin was saying. The child slept for 2 days on the bench at SAPS with nothing being done until this NPO went in there to find out how the child was as the child in place, only to find the child is on the bench for 2 days. There's another scenario, 2 girls, twins, sisters, 8-year-olds, takes a little boy into the male toilet, opens his pants and pulls his penis so hard the child tore his foreskin. Of course, social workers were called in and questioned the 2 girls. Where did you learn to do something like this from? Oh, my father taught us this. We do this on my father. Guys, I can tell you far more gruesome stories that are going on. Please note that the people, the perpetrators, are not just people coming from poverty backgrounds, because we like to say it's poverty that's doing this, but it's damn educated men. Doctors, lawyers, teachers, people that are highly educated, that are simply perverted. So the government, as much as I have to pay tribute to all those NPOs that are doing amazing work out there. For without them, we would be all the more poorer. Their intervention, going out, rescuing people, GBV, motivations, education, I actually bow down to them, and Mr. Reddy recognizes that NPOs are truly angels in our society. So I really would like to take this minute to acknowledge them. So I'm saying that whilst we all can do the things we can, this is like a never-ending story. And the more you are creating platforms to help, the more new cases are emerging. This is a government issue. And government needs to take a serious stand. As I see our president watered it down very nicely yesterday when he announced that it is a national crisis, but not what the call for. The call for is a national disaster. He has called it a national crisis. The thing about a crisis, if I'm in a crisis, I can come out of it and I'll stop myself. Tomorrow I'll be fine. But if it's a disaster, I need to call on rapid response teams to be there to help me. I need to call on communities and everybody because it's a disaster. So there's a difference between a disaster and a difference between a crisis. So all we can say is that we need to take back, as COSATU, you want to take a paper back to the president. And what comes out of this meeting is some of the things that's going to be coming out, so that you can share with him for how much longer is it just going to be a crisis. Then you're giving freedom to the perpetrators to do as they please. Thank you very much, guys. Sabaya Community Trust has built over 10 gender-based violence centers at police stations. We spent 10 million rand on it. Of course, we have funded COSATU recently, and we do amazing work in community upliftment. Some of the things we have done is we've built infrastructure from ground up for NPOs. We like working with NPOs. So if any of you are an NPO needing assistance, please take my phone number from the team at COSATU and call me at any time. We can discuss. Thank you so much.
Thank you.